mean, what are you even looking for?
Madonna, Blondie, Bowie, Beatles, music! We need music!
This is music!
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 nostalgic songs in Stranger Things.
Every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you.
For this list, we'll be looking at the best oldies featured in everyone's favorite Netflix original series. Which of these songs transport you back in time? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. California Dreamin', The Beach Boys. The opening title sequence for Season 4 is followed by a song that evokes nostalgia for two different decades.
Joyce says time is funny like that. Emotions can make it speed up or slow down.
The original tune was written in 1963 by John and Michelle Phillips before they formed the Mamas and the Papas with Cass Elliot and Denny Doherty. The folk rock group's rendition is probably the most well-known, and they performed it not once but twice on The Ed Sullivan Show.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray.
The song came to represent the West Coast and counterculture of the 1960s. However, it's the Beach Boys rendition that's often heard and is also featured in Stranger Things.
California dreaming on such a winter's day.
Published in 1986, the cover is contemporary in the setting of the show and helps establish the Byers family, along with Eleven in their new home of California. Number 9. American Pie, Don McLean. One of the few songs on our list not from the 1980s, this track is an homage to rock and roll from the late 1950s to 1970 or so.
But something touched me deep inside the day. The music died.
It's one of the longest singles to ever make the Billboard Hot 100 with 8 minutes and 42 seconds of playtime. While the lyrics remain mostly unexplained by McLean himself, many have speculated a variety of references.
We were singing bye, bye, Miss American Pie. I shared it to the levee, but the levee was dry.
From music to politics to significant cultural events, the song tells the story of a time that's passed. Despite its catchy chorus, the lyrics are pretty devastating. We couldn't think of a better song for the background of a scene where everything is not as it seems.
I'm really sorry about this, Daddy, but it'll all be over soon. I promise.
Number 8. Heroes, Peter Gabriel. While Gabriel's cover wouldn't have existed in the 1980s world of Stranger Things, the original was released in 1977, so we figure we'll let it slide.
We can beat them forever and ever.
Written by David Bowie during his time in Berlin, the lyrics describe a couple separated by the Berlin Wall. The message of the single isn't entirely optimistic, and the quotation marks in the title imply a bit of irony. Gabriel's mournful interpretation picks up on the sadder themes and slows the song down.
And we kiss as though nothing could fall.
It perfectly suits two parallel scenes in Season 1 and Season 3. Like the couple in the song, characters in the show are separated by a barrier. The difference is that it seems those in Stranger Things are no longer hanging on to hope.
And the shame was on the other side.
Number 7. Can't Fight This Feeling, REO Speedwagon. Released 17 years after the band first formed, this song is one of their most iconic ballads. The number 1 hit plays very briefly in the Netflix show, but the progression into the chorus is all we need to get it stuck in our heads.
I've been running around in circles in my mind.
Struggling to come up with songs as a group, band member Kevin Cronin flew to Hawaii to write Alone. There, he revisited a tune he'd started working on 10 years before and turned it into the classic we know today.
I tell myself that I can't hold out forever. I say there is no reason for my fear.
The lyrics are from the perspective of a man finally admitting his romantic feelings for a girl he's known for a while, something Mike can probably relate to. Number 6. Africa, Toto. This song finds its place in the pilot episode of the Netflix show. It can be heard playing in the background while Nancy and Steve study. As far as historical accuracy goes, the tune perfectly belongs in the bedroom of a teenage girl in the early 80s. First released on the album Toto 4, the single made #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1982 to 83.
He turned to me as if to say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you.
Surprisingly, it almost didn't make the album, with members of the band calling it goofy and dumb. Despite this, the creative lyrics and epic chorus have kept listeners engaged for decades.
I bless the rains down in Africa. I bless the rains down in Africa.
Number 5. Every Breath You Take, The Police. Written by Sting, this rock hit stayed at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 for 8 weeks, topping charts in Canada and the United Kingdom as well.
Every breath you take, and every move you make.
In May of 2019, Broadcast Music Incorporated actually announced it as the song with the most radio plays, almost 15 million. While the admittedly generic melody sounds like a love ballad, the lyrics reveal something much more sinister.
Oh, can't you see? You belong to me.
They describe a jealous man obsessively observing his lover, and Stranger Things definitely leans into the more horrific side of it. In the show, the track ends in distortion while the upside down comes into view. Number 4. Material Girl, Madonna. Regularly recognized as one of the 2 songs that solidified Madonna's icon status, this song is an anthem of materialism. Appropriately so, it makes its appearance during the 3rd season of Stranger Things, during which the mall is a primary setting. The synth arrangements and Madonna's vocal performance are super characteristic of mid-1980s, making it quite fitting for the time. Noticeably, the video undermines the message of the song, portraying a woman who, in fact, cannot be won over with expensive gifts. Madonna has admitted regrets about the single, given that it led to her being labeled Material Girl in the media. Many listeners, on the other hand, find the song empowering.
A material world.
Number 3. Should I Stay or Should I Go? The Clash. This song is the first 80s hit to be heavily featured in the show.
Like it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Alright, you can keep the mix if you want.
Really?
Yeah, really.
It's used throughout the series in connection with Will and how he handles his fears. When first released, the song was critically acclaimed, but not a huge commercial success. Almost a decade later, its use in a Levi's jeans commercial sparked new interest in the tune.
Darling, you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go?
The band had historically been unwilling to accept brand deals, but songwriter Mick Jones ultimately decided that jeans were a part of rock culture, and the hit was re-released soon after in 1991. This time, it topped the UK singles chart and received more attention internationally. In 2004, it would find its way onto Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time.
Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now?
Number 2. Master of Puppets, Metallica. In the early 1980s, Metallica was one of the big 4 bands that established thrash metal. As the subgenre picked up steam throughout the decade, the band found commercial success. The heavy metal track has been praised for its instrumentality, especially for the use of downstroke picking. Their 3rd album of the same name was critically acclaimed, and the first metal recording to be included in the Library of Congress. Since it was first released, Master of Puppets has been performed by Metallica live more than 1,700 times. But we're betting no performance has ever been more metal than Eddie's in the Upside Down. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Pass the Dutchie, Musical Youth. Who knew reggae made for good getaway music?
Pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side. Pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side.
Ghostbusters, Ray Parker Jr. Not all movie theme songs rock, but this one does.
There's something strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
Wake Me Up Before You Go-Go, Wham! Grab your leg warmers and your sweatbands, this song makes you wanna jazzercise.
Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo.
Never-Ending Story, Gaten Matarazzo and Gabriella Pizzolo. Nothing like young Broadway stars covering a song from an obscure 80s movie. You Spin Me Round Like a Record, Dead or Alive. Flo Rida and Kesha Who? Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Running Up That Hill, A Deal with God, Kate Bush. Similarly to how the Clash's Should I Stay or Should I Go has become associated with Will, Kate Bush's Anthem is interwoven into Max's Season 4 story arc.
They can't help you, Max. There's a reason you hide from them.
After its initial release, the song reached number 3 on the UK singles chart. It was also Bush's first single to make the top 40. After being featured on Stranger Things in 2022, the song saw a massive revival.
We're running up that road. We're running up that hill. We're running up that building.
This time it reached number 5 on the Billboard Top 100 and topped the charts in 8 other countries. As a writer, vocalist, and producer, Bush created the surreal track from beginning to end. Her soprano voice combined with drums and the unique synth form an ethereal yet energetic soundscape.
Come, baby. Come, darling. Let me steal this moment from you now.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.